We are 1 month away from the NFL draft in Green Bay, the opening round on a Thursday night at Lambeau Field. And if you take a look at a lot of mock drafts, which I have been trying to do a better job of tracking this year, just for my own, okay, here's who maybe could be available, should be paying attention to. The fact that 𝘾𝘃 was, I believe, the only general manager at McMillan's, who's a wide receiver, his private workout. He's okay. Maybe the Packers are actually going to take a wide receiver for the first time since Javon Walker in the first round. But there is also a very good article on the Journal-Sentinel website this morning from Pete Doherty, where he basically makes the case, something that I've been trying to say, and I think I've gotten you to agree with, Chew, that based on what Gutekunst saw in the free agent pool, that he thinks he can improve areas of the team better off in the draft than overspending on certain free agents, and he is making the case more for defensive line talent. Pointing at different teams that were able to upgrade. Like the Rams last year, they lost a big-time pass rusher, a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Donald. But they go out, they get Jared Verse, who's the Defensive Rookie of the Year. They're able to draft tackle Braden Fiskey, who had 8.5 sacks last year. So they were able to remake their pass rush with the first 2 rounds. And he is saying, clearly, this is what 𝘾𝘃 thinks he can do, and he's better off trying to do this. Which makes me think, as much as I would love a wide receiver 1, as much as I would love a wide receiver in that first round, Chew, kind of seems like they're going to... All signs to me point towards defensive line once again in the first round.
Yeah, and he'll go receiver in the second round because just looking... Is it McMillan, the kid in Arizona?
Yes.
I mean, he's not super speedy. The fact that no GMs were there for his private workout, other than 𝘾𝘃, is... But 𝘾𝘃 probably sniffs a second-round pick there. That kid's not a first-round pick, right? I mean,
No, he is.
He is?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not 4.55-ish?
Yeah, he is great production, ran a disappointing 40, is a physical specimen in terms of size. He did run a faster 40, I believe, which, of course, no one there has any video of, but at this day he did. So he does have – he's going to be at a pro day, so more GMs will be able to get a look at him. He was the presumptive first wide receiver that was going to be taken, and now he has since seen a decline into the back end of the first.
So, because he's ranked the number 9th receiver, right? That many receivers are going to go in the first round?
No, he's like 9th. Are you looking at the right guy?
Yeah. McMillan?
Yeah.
I thought I read that he was ranked 9th.
I mean, maybe on someone specifics, but he's a first rounder.
Either way, even if he's someone like, because everybody thought Cooper DeJean was a first round pick, and then he lasted the second round, but he went 40th. Like I don't think Tet is making it to 54.
No.
Is the overall, like even if he falls out of the first round.
It says at the moment McMillan is ranked 9th in overall prospects.
9th overall.
Right. So there's 8 total guys in front of him.
Oh, okay. So this is a trade up then.
Well, if you want him, right, and
well, then why would no other GMs be at his pro day?
Well, it was a private workout. He still has a pro day with all of his other teammates still coming up.
Yeah, I believe it's the Big 12 is doing a pro day.
Yeah,
like they're all doing it together just because there's not enough NFL guys at each team to have their own. They're not Ohio State.
My guess is they're going to go interior D-line. It's a deep group. There's questions of Kenny Clark and his age. This could be his last year in Green Bay. And then they're not sure what they got with Wyatt. I mean, even though Wyatt was better last year, they still didn't give him, well, to date, they haven't given him the fifth-year option, correct?
Correct. They have until the 1st to do that. Till May 1st. They've got over a month left. And I doubt. I don't know what they're going to do with Wyatt. I know they're not going to give the 5th-year option to
𝘾𝘃. Yeah,
it's just too much. It's just too much to guarantee.
So there's uncertainty going into next year. You don't know if those two interior guys are going to be around.
The more I try to absorb draft information, and again, my mind could change here, but Chewy, I hate doing this. Because you brought this up a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm. What, saying I'm right?
Based on the needs that they have and the number of draft picks that 𝘃𝘃 has, and everything I hear about, well, after, 15, 20, there's kind of a lot of guys with similar grades, just kind of depends upon what you need. If there's a trade there, I wouldn't be shocked if he trades back.
Yeah.
Just because they still have, they addressed some needs, certainly, cornerback, offensive line, right, in the offseason.
Yes.
But the two big needs are defensive line and wide receiver. And if he wants as many swings as possible.
You know what 23 is perfect for? Team that might want to go up and snatch themselves a Jackson Dart.
A Jackson Dart.
Yeah, one of those teams who end up taking the rock solid Travis Hunter, or you take
like the
Abdul
Giants.
Carter, one of those guys who we all think is probably a surefire top 5 guy, and they either miss out on Cam Ward or Shedeur, or they're not that interested.
Honestly, that screams Giants to me.
Yes,
screams.
I think they might end up with the first overall pick and just take Cam Ward, but. We'll see how.
Well,
it plays
if they
out.
do that, yes. If they do that, but if they decide to stay put at 3 and then just take, like you said, go because they've got a lot of needs, obviously,
yes, all of them,
and they just take the best wide receiver or the best pass rusher available to them, and then they're sitting there high in the second round, going, "Oh, we can just use this pick, turn it into 23, and go get Jackson Dart."
Yeah.
So, are you saying I was right from the standpoint when 𝘃𝘃 came out and said Mark Murphy has given me permission to trade the first pick?
Well, I don't think you were specifically.
Where you thought he was asking permission to go up when you're actually believing now that it might be permission to go back.
Specifically because that specific question he was asked at that time was to trade it away. Was to trade it away and potentially get one of the pass rushers that ultimately were not available. That was specifically asked of him, and that was the specific question that he answered.
I know you want us to play the Chewy was right, but we've had a really hard time getting through to you that he was asked if he'd trade his first-round pick for a pass rusher and answered yes, he was given permission to do it. It wasn't, will you trade the pick at all? It was, would you trade the first-round pick for a Myles Garrett?
I don't remember it that way.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. But
I have to go one room over?
But that got you thinking. But Chewy, that got you thinking.
Directionally correct.
Yes, yeah, that got you thinking about, okay, but what if he does trade it back? And again, I didn't think that was a possibility even at the time. But the closer we get to the draft and seeing how most of this is played out and hearing knowing 𝘃𝘃 wants as many draft picks as possible, I can't sit here and say if we're all up there on night 1 of the draft at the Tundra Trio having a good time and the Packers come up at 23 and they trade out and our draft coverage is all for naught because the Packers aren't taking somebody in the first round. It wouldn't shock me, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's 75% chance it's going to happen that way, but I would not be surprised if that's the way the Packers ultimately go because 𝘃𝘃 wants more swings and he's able to pick up a couple extra draft picks.
I contend a trade out of the first round would be worse. The reaction from everyone would be worse than losing a playoff game. I think people are so disappointed right now with what happened in the offseason, not getting Devontae, not even interested in him, DK Metcalf, that at this point, saying, 𝘃𝘃 thinks he's better than everyone else. He wants to trade back. He's smarter. He understands that he's getting more picks. I think that would be, we'd be at a apocalypse level reaction.
It would be a tough look.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a tough look.
You think so? Do you guys know people that are going up there? Is this going to be crazy?
I know a couple people that are going to be up there. I'm assuming it's crazy because people fly in every year to all these different places.
No, I know, but is the attendance by people in the state of Wisconsin going to be determined upon the weather? If it's crappy, let's just say a light rain, will that turn people away? We're opposed to what if it's 70 degrees out?
I don't think that this is a casual thing. I don't think either you're going or you're not.
Yeah.
Like people, because either you love the draft and you want to be up there the one time it's in your state and it's at Lambeau Field, or I don't think, because it's going to be such a pain chew to get up there. Because think about how much of a pain Green Bay is on a game day. And that's when the parking lot is available to fans. That parking lot is going to be full of people standing. Like half of the parking lot at Lambeau Field is not going to be in use.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if on the other side it's going to be in use. I don't know if any of that's going to be in use. So to get up there, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. So if you want to go, you want to go.
So what do they think the numbers are going to be?
No idea.
I believe
Hundreds
they said
of
around
thousands?
250,000.
Total over the
Yeah.
3 days?
Yeah, I believe there was 750,000 in Detroit when
Okay.
they had the draft. So they are expecting a steady, a lot less people, but that's still more than a game day.
Yeah, they'll be parking in crivets for crying out loud, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this is something that you're just going, oh, maybe I'll go check it out if the weather's nice. I mean, if you live up in Green Bay, maybe. But if you're in Milwaukee, if you're in Madison, if you have to drive any sort of significant distance to try to, like, the logistics of it is you're going to have to figure this thing
The
out.
shuttle bus industry is going to do well that week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the malls in Appleton are just going to be full of cars as people are jumping on the parking ride.
Yeah.
But I am coming around to the thought of Goody potentially trading out, depending upon what's available to them at 23, and if they get an
then I
offer
was
from a
right.
team like the Giants.
You can play it, Josh. It's fine. Gabe's essentially agreeing with me. It just took him 2 months to do it.
Yeah, that's why I said I didn't want to do it. I knew this was going to be the reaction. But it's like when Jason.
Chewy was right.
All right.
Thank
Holy,
you.
Chewy was right.
We got a long week with him. I'll throw him a bone here early.
Especially on a Monday, like that's just going to lift his spirits for the rest of the show. I
And
feel
then
like we
tomorrow
haven't
we got-
played that in a while.
Yeah,
Also,
tomorrow we
Chewy's got a
real-
present for me he's bringing back, so.
That's true.
Oh,
You
yeah,
got to suck
that's a
up.
good point. I got to find it, though.
Oh, jeez.
I got to find it.
Absolutely
I think Dyson
perfect.
might have stole it. I'll get it for you, buddy.
No,
I'll get it. I'll get it.
that is awesome. What is the best way to win a game? Because I think we had a pretty top tier contender happen over the weekend. We'll fill you in on that coming up next. But